Thanks for listening to Gossip with Celebrity, brought to you by Celebrity.com. This week we talk about the royals. We end with our weekly feature, the comments of the week. The stories, photos, and tweets we talk about can be found at Celebrity.com/podcast under episode 103. Hi, I'm Katie, the founder and editor of Celebrity.com, and I write as Celebrity.
And I'm Chandra, I'm the head writer for Celebrity, and I write as Kaiser. We're rusty.
We are rusty. I had to click over back to the document because I was like, what am I going to say?
It's been 2 weeks since we've recorded a podcast. And we always forget how to do it when we take a few weeks off.
We do. I mean, a few is 2. We don't take a lot of time off. It feels like it because it's so much stuff happens. So we took off for the Met Gala and then the Emmys. And we also had the VMAs, the Museum of Motion Pictures Gala. It just feels like all the celebrities are saying, fuck it, and the people who plan these things, and they're just going to do full events again.
Yeah, because everything got put off over the spring and summer. And so they were like, well, we'll schedule everything for September because more people will be vaccinated and we'll have like better ability to test everyone, do those rapid tests. So I think that's what they did for the Met Gala and the Emmys. But still, it's crazy how much stuff was jammed into 3 weeks.
It was. Normal people cannot get rapid tests. They're not available. Like, you cannot order them online. They're not in any of the stores. But sure, the celebrities can get them. That's my little mini rant. But
I think sometimes it's just probably just people taking temperatures. There was like that testing fiasco on The View last week.
Oh, yeah.
Where Kamala Harris was supposed to be live on the show, and then like 2 people had positive tests. It was false positive.
I had 2 saved. I ordered like the last one off Amazon before they stopped having them. And I took 2 this week because I was feeling really sick, but they were both negative. And I was supposed to get a haircut yesterday. I went to the hairdresser and I was like, hey, have you been vaccinated? I feel kind of sick. But at that point I had 1 test and I was like, my test was negative. And she's like, well, I'm getting my second vaccine tomorrow, so I really appreciate you, and let's reschedule. And it worked out fine. She said she has clients who come in and they're like sniffling and rubbing their nose and saying that they have allergies. And she's like, oh, shit. Yeah, I just guess I have a cold or allergies, but of course I'm vaccinated.
Yeah, I'm vaccinated. I'm getting my flu shot today.
Okay, good. I'll get mine when I feel better.
When I feel like crap, I'm like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get the flu shot now because I know I'm already going to feel like crap with the flu shot. So.
Oh, that's a good point. You might as well just bundle them.
Just spend a few days in bed and get over everything.
Yeah. Oh. All right.
Yeah, but it was crazy busy.
Yeah, I'm glad it's over. When it was over, I was like, phew, but it was almost worse than I thought it was going to be.
I was in a bad place, like, right after the Emmys. I felt really burnt out.
Yeah.
But then all the royal stuff has been very exciting.
Yeah, it's been great. So we had last week, Harry and Meghan went to New York City, and this was the first time they've done appearances since Sussexes. That happened right before the pandemic, too. So I'm glad we didn't have a podcast last week because they did everything on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we record on Thursdays. So our podcast would have seemed out of date.
No, on Thursday, they arrived in New York. So we would have been talking about how they met the governor and the Blasio, who everyone hates. I was like, I wonder if this is going to hurt them politically, meeting with de Blasio.
I don't think it did, They were there for the 9/11 remembrance because they went to the One World Trade Center and to talk vaccine equity. And then they had that roundtable discussion at the World Health Organization.
They went to the World Health Organization on Thursday, and then Friday was meetings, I think some of them at the UN, and then maybe they went back to WHO. And then they also went to lunch and they visited the school. That was Friday's activities. And then Saturday was more meetings at the UN and the appearance at Global Citizen.
Okay. Yeah. No, Global Citizen was Sunday, right?
No, Saturday.
Okay. I don't even know. I was having a hard time keeping a track because they did so much and it was great to see them. And at the same time as they did all that stuff, oh, look, who's back after their long vacation. The Cambridges, of course, came out of hiding and tried to do stuff. And it was so obvious. Like, they could have waited a week or something, but no.
Well, Kate couldn't wait any longer. She'd been gone for 2 months and 4 days. No one had seen hide nor hair of her. And I think the day that she had her first event after, more than 2 months was the day the Sussexes announced that they were going to New York. And so her events didn't get half as much attention as they were meaning to.
Yeah. So she had that event with British tennis stars. She was playing tennis with Emma Raducanu.
Yeah, Raducanu. Yeah. She won the U.S. Open, Emma did, as a qualifier.
Yeah.
And she's very cute. And I think the whole reason that Kate and Emma got together is because Emma has been largely funded through the Lawn Tennis Association, which Kate is royal patron of Wimbledon, and she's also one of her patronages, Sports Aid.
Yeah.
It was several patronages all in one, plus Kate got to play tennis and count it as an event.
She likes tennis, so it was fine, but it was on Friday.
Yeah. And hardly anyone paid attention to it.
And something that they paid even less attention to was Prince William's meeting with the president of the Football Association to talk football / soccer stuff,
Yeah, that event seemed a little bit thrown together. All of the Kate and William's events seemed thrown together at the last minute, but that's pretty usual.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't very specific to Harry and Meghan's tour and William and Kate trying to one-up the Sussexes. I don't think William and Kate's staff like to plan way ahead.
Maybe because they know that they're not reliable.
Yeah.
You know how you have that friend who's super fucking flaky and you just are well, I'm not going to count on her.
Yeah, I'm not even going to make plans for Friday. Well, I'll just ask her on the day if she feels like it.
Yeah, I can't deal with those people. Sorry, go ahead. They drive me nuts.
Do you feel like working today, Kate? I don't know. I think I'm going to go shopping. So, yeah.
And then they had a pub lunch with their children, the Keenbridges, and it was captured by a photographer from The Sun who described their whole thing. It was ridiculous. I'm sure it's the first time they all hung out together in ages.
Yeah, and that was last Sunday.
That was Sunday, yeah.
So after the tour, the Sussexes tour was over, Will and Kate organized this little family pub lunch. They brought a photographer. It was from The Sun, who they're very friendly with now. And even though the images were grainy, you knew that they knew the photographer was there.
If they weren't authorized to be there, they would have had it shut down.
They would have complained, how dare you take photos of the children? And
and then they did even more stuff.
Oh, yeah. They had to rush out and announce, William especially, he had to announce a bunch of different things involved with his Earthshot prize.
It sounds like that reality show with Gillian Hough that got shut down because they were making the people compete. And Usher. And they're no, it's not going to be a reality competition for... But now this is a little bit different. So William has that 5-part Discovery streaming series about his Earthshot prize, which honors, I guess, climate change activists or people working on that.
Yeah, he's very into documentary filmmaking all of a sudden. It turns out that he let filmmakers trail him around for 2 years, and they made that Keen documentary. I think it was earlier this year, I think. It was just a big nothing burger. No one cared.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
And I don't think that this Discovery series is going to be like that. I don't think it's going to just be centered on William, even though he loves that, to center everything on him and what he's doing and how his children need to save the environment or something. It's all very vague, but it's all very keen as well.
Other people shouldn't have kids, but he can have as many as he wants. Right? Remember when he said that? So he also had an op-ed about climate change in USA Today that was co-written with Michael Bloomberg.
That was thrown together at the last minute.
Yeah. And then the big thing this week was Tuesday, the Cambridges went to the No Time to Die premiere along with Prince Charles and Duchess Camilla. And that was a lot.
Yeah, we're going to talk about their looks a little bit later in the podcast, right?
In a second. Okay. Yeah. I want to talk about also they went to Northern Ireland Wednesday. So they just keep piling the stuff in because it's like, don't forget about us.
Yeah. Maybe we'll find out something different later on. But I truly and honestly believe that the Northern Ireland trip was put together last minute right after the Sussexes New York trip. They wanted to go somewhere and be a couple and like be like, don't forget about us.
It really seemed like it was a last minute thing. And
yeah, they didn't have any agenda other than, oh, here we're going to pose with some kids and here's Kate holding a spider.
And again, like their stupid fucking train trip, they didn't bring things for people. Like they didn't announce any initiatives. They didn't bring anything. Like the Sussexes donated to the restaurant where they ate. You know, they had plans. They brought
stuff to the school. They donated a washer and dryer. Yeah. They did other stuff at the school. She gave away copies of her book. Oh, and this was something I didn't mention in the post about Will and Kate and their trip to Northern Ireland. So they went to a university, and this university had like the whole petting zoo thing was part of the mental health initiative within the university.
Yeah.
They did not mention heads together at any point.
Because it was Harry's thing. It was Harry's thing. They don't care about that.
But like it was supposed to be for all three of them. And it was supposed to be the umbrella organization for all three of their work with mental health. Oh, you know, we work with this kind of program. Oh, we've done this with Heads Together. They didn't say anything. It was just all, oh, here's Kate holding a spider.
So that's the thing. We've heard this in the way that the British press writes about Harry being open about his mental health journey. They think that talking to a therapist and understanding your own childhood traumas and triggers and things is weakness. This narrative has been perpetrated by the British press. I don't think that William or Kate has talked to a therapist once in their life. That's not what happens. Maybe I'm going by The Crown and how it's portrayed on The Crown. But really,
I don't think William has ever talked to a therapist. I wonder if Kate has, though. Especially with regards to her own family and like James Middleton and his anxiety.
Oh, he was open about his stuff. Yeah. That's important that their family.
William definitely thinks that actually focusing on mental health is some kind of weakness in his eyes.
Yeah. His default emotion is to get mad and punchy, which is, I guess, runs in their family and their family spouses. Yeah. So Mike Tyndall just said that in 2003, I don't have this written down for us, but I just wanted to talk about it because I was thinking about it, that he and his buddies went to go throw punches at Harry. They were 25. Harry was like 19 back then. And that Harry's security people stopped it really quick. And he was like, aha, isn't that funny? Everybody wants to beat up Harry now. And it was so telling that he would tell that as a joke.
Yeah. It was just gross. It made me feel really weird. And it made me feel just sad for both Mike and Zara and Harry. All three of them were very close for many years. Like Zara she was always called like the big sister to William and Harry. The big sister they never had. She's closer in age to William, but like she adored Harry, and Mike and Harry were close friends. And I just feel like the three of them, Mike, Zara, and Harry, they had a big falling out over Meghan.
They probably did, yeah.
And Zara and Mike chose their sides, and they chose Will and Kate. And now, like, to hear Mike parrot this kind of like family line of they're all mad at Harry, they all want to punch Harry. It's gross. It's tacky.
It's despicable, yeah. And then the very week that the Sussexes were in New York, Will and Kate are covering People magazine with the title, The Making of a Modern King. Like, come the fuck on. You already have People Royals. Like, put them on the quarterly Royals edition. That's fine. But don't take over the main people with this bullshit.
Yeah, it would have been a great opportunity to put Meghan and Harry on the cover, honestly.
Right. You know that the Cambridges called in a favor and they're like, we'll give you.
Well, of course, because the cover story is written or co-written by Robert Lacey. Robert Lacey has been co-opted by William. When Battle of Brothers was originally written and published last year, Lacey had not been co-opted by William. He was using sources from everyone, from everywhere. Okay. He was not trying to really take sides. He was just doing like kind of a pure historical analysis of, this is what William's marriage is like. It's kind of bad. And like, here's what Harry was like when he was a kid. He was a mess, and that sort of thing. And then he introduced these new chapters this year, and it got
really anti-Sussex, the new chapters.
Yeah, because William contacted him. I mean, I'm assuming William contacted him and just basically said, this is what you need to write.
So the narrative in People from Lacey is that, quote, a new leader, William, not Charles, is paving the way forward, for the monarchy. That's shots fired by William, which he's been doing for a while, right? He's been kind of trying to come for his dad's kingdom or whatever.
Yeah, William and Kate are both playing with fire when it comes to not caring if they piss off Charles and Camilla. A lot of people disagree, and I mean, that's fair. It's some people think Charles is always going to be weak, especially to William. He's never really going to challenge William and William's massive bullshit.
William's massive bullshit.
Charles is somewhat afraid of
because he wants to punch people out, and he's incandescent and gorged with rage
for sure.
Or whatever.
But like, I don't know. I feel like Charles really does have some tricks up his sleeve. And if he wants to slap down William, he will. I do feel like Charles is biding his time in some ways.
Yeah, because once his mom passes, then he can do what he wants.
And there's no guarantee that William will be invested as the Prince of Wales. There's no guarantee. Charles could withhold that from William.
Oh, okay. So it's like wait a little longer, basically. So there was a big thing, too, where it was really obvious the way the British press was covering Harry and Meghan and nitpicking them versus how they covered the Cambridges doing worse shit the next week. It was really obvious. So they nitpicked Harry and Meghan for taking a private plane to New York. And we just heard on Twitter from Omid Scobie that the Cambridges took a private plane to Northern Ireland as well. Yeah, our friend Melissa Murray sent us that. It was pretty funny. I call them our Twitter friends our friends, but they are
friends.
They are. And they noticed Meghan's makeup, and they called her eyebrows Hollywood, and they noticed her little highlights on her cheeks. They were talking about how much her outfits cost and that she must have been too hot in her coat. But then William and Kate went to the No Time to Die premiere, and Kate was dressed up like she was going to the Oscars or something, and they didn't say shit about that. And they're doing all that with taxpayer money.
Yeah. First of all, the whole conversation about Meghan and her coats was insane. People were acting ridiculous. Oh my God, she's gonna be so hot. Then she'll take off her fucking coat. Do you not understand how coats work?
That was the talking point of the trolls. And I'm convinced that they sent a bunch of them out who were paid because our job was a pain in the ass for a few days. Those people don't normally come. And they were using the same talking points.
Imagine getting paid to comment, oh my God, she's wearing a coat.
It's a firm they hire and then they outsource it to other people. But yeah, or they use AI. I don't know how it works, but I need to research this. But yeah, so I didn't like Kate's Jenny Packham gown at the No Time to Die premiere. I thought it was over the top. But a lot of people liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, was it the best thing she's ever worn? Not really. But she doesn't have a particular style beyond homaging Diana or just copying Meghan completely.
No, her style is cosplay. And when she does that, it's cute. I appreciate when she does cosplay, not of other women, but of like the stupid shit she's doing, like where she dresses nautical or where she dresses like golf or something. You know what I mean? Like when she really goes for it. That's cute.
It's not cute. I don't think it's cute.
It would be cute if somebody else did it.
If she was a teacher, it would be cute. But she's just a princess with an empty head.
If she was a person who was really dedicated to her work, it would be cute regardless. But yeah, I agree with you.
But I thought her gown, her Jenny Packham gown, was beautiful. I don't think she wore it like she meant it.
No.
She seemed kind of awkward in it, and she was all slumped over. Her hair just ruined the look.
It was this giant mound of fake hair like piled on the back of her head.
It was a mess. It looked like a rat's nest. Her makeup was flawless.
And then the DM did a whole breakdown of her makeup look from a makeup artist, not the one who did her makeup. And they made it sound more positive, like, here's how you can achieve this, versus how Meghan's look was nitpicked.
Well, the makeup artist was like, oh, Kate must have been inspired by Meghan's eyebrows.
That's what they said, yeah. Whatever.
But Kate, yeah, she was just trying too hard. The saddest part to me was like realizing that William barely looked at her. She was trying to get his attention the entire night. She was looking at him, and he just would never look over at her.
You know how she could get his attention if she gets some on the side? That's how she could get his attention. Because he's just an asshole and he's a cheater. And if she starts cheating on him, then maybe he'll sit up and pay attention. And I know she's not going to do it. I just kind of would like to see that plot line with the royal family.
Well, you never know. I don't think Kate is above cheating on William. I think she would if the right opportunity came to her.
Yeah.
Now, like, would William really care? I'm not so sure.
He might. I think that's one of the only things that would get his attention.
Yeah, Charles never really gave a shit about Diana cheating.
That was kind of different. So we talked about this on Zoom, and this is Susan, Karen, Amira, and Jasmine.
They cannot put a foot right, can they? I mean, it's just, I do look at the Daily Mail. I shouldn't, my brain cells atrophy afterwards. But, they flew a private plane. Oh, she's wearing wool in 72-degree weather. Oh, my God. Like, they can't do anything right. It's just, everything is a wrong thing in the eyes of the Daily Mail.
I love the whole Hollywood eyebrows. It's the pinky ring, possibly from the Saudis. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
What are Hollywood eyebrows? Like, I don't understand what that means. Like, she has really nice eyebrows, but it's makeup, guys. Anybody can have really nice eyebrows if you know how to fill them in right. Like, I don't understand. What was the point in that? It's interesting to watch. Kate's eyebrows look all different and full, and her whole vibe is cosplay.
Yeah, in that story today, they compared Kate's eyebrows to Cara Delevingne's. And it's like, okay, so that's not Hollywood then, I guess, because she's British.
It's like I said on Twitter, like, oh my gosh, they went to a movie premiere. Oh my gosh, how Hollywood. Oh my gosh, this is going to be under review. This is going to destroy the crown. What's going to happen? What's the Queen think about this? Does she approve this?
Why is Kate trying to be a Hollywood movie star in a gold dress? I want to know why she's trying to roll with the Hollywood stars. That's what they said about Meghan during The Lion King. Like, she thinks she's a celebrity. She thinks she's a big star. Her head had to have hurt. Like, that was a lot of weight.
And I agree with Kaiser. I think that whole Ireland tour was put together, like, very quickly at the last minute. And she was dressing exactly like Meghan. Except
it was so obvious.
Yeah, very obvious.
They put that together with gum and string. They were like, go to Ireland, talk about themes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like Karen was saying, and Amira was saying this too. They were calling Meghan to Hollywood for going to The Lion King. And she was dressed kind of conservatively. Like, if she did even half of what Kate did at this premiere, they would be ripping her apart. But that kind of goes without saying, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But thankfully, Harry and Meghan don't have to worry about any of that shit anymore. It's just the idiots over in Britain who are just obsessed with this idea that, Meghan can't have nice things, Meghan can't dress well, but Kate is the perfect queen no matter what she does, even if she's copying everything Meghan does.
And even if they're paying for her, like Meghan's paying with her own money.
As far as like whether or not it was appropriate for Kate to look that Hollywood, I think it was fine because of the occasion. It was a James Bond movie. It's very British. It was a big royal premiere. You know what I mean? Like, it was probably the biggest premiere in Britain the whole year.
Yeah, because of the pandemic. I was just thinking this, that Kate was cosplaying a Hollywood star.
Yeah.
That was just what she did. Yep.
It was a James Bond themed Hollywood star. It was
she wore
Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Man with the golden keen.
Yeah, the golden keen. So then the other thing that's been happening is they're just speculating whether Meghan and Harry will come back to England for either Christmas and or the Queen's Jubilee. Now, it's thought that Harry has been talking to the Queen about that. We know that they talk to her and they're close with her.
Yeah, I mean, so much of it is fanfic anyway. The only thing we sort of know for sure is that Harry and the Queen talk. And I tend to believe that Harry has made an offer to the Queen that he would like to come for a visit. He would like to see her specifically, the Queen specifically, and he would like to introduce the Queen to his children. I think that's what Harry said to the Queen. I think that was the offer. I would like to, have my daughter christened in London or Windsor. And, let's try to make this happen. Let's try to make this work. And I think everyone else around the Queen is just freaking the fuck out about it.
Because they can't control it. So we talked on Zoom about whether, Harry would come back and how the British press has been treating them. And here's that segment.
I was wondering, since the Queen's Jubilee is next year, do you think at least Harry will go, or maybe Harry and Meghan, and they'll leave the kids at home with Doria?
Yeah, I mean,
you're thinking?
Yes, I think it will just be Meghan and Harry. I don't see the kids going.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see. Yeah.
All right.
And they're going to have a nervous breakdown because they're not going to get any shots of the kids at all. Because that's what they really want. They want pictures of those kids.
They act like they're entitled to them.
Mm-hmm. But they just can't make up their mind. You act like they still belong to you. It's just, I guess, whatever sells, it goes for clickbait. I don't know.
It's just like pick a feeling, pick a lane. But again, I think it just goes back to that abusive thing, where it's like, I don't want you, but I don't want anyone else to have you. I don't want you back, but I don't want you to be happy.
And they hate that America loves them. And we're like,
Yes.
Harry is ours now.
Yes.
And
I think that kills them.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that they didn't think that they would come back and America would be as embracing of them as we are. Look how people acted when they were on stage at that Global Citizen Live. I mean, people treated them like rock stars. So I think that it just boils their blood that they are that happy and that accepted here.
So yeah, it's like Zakiya was saying, and Amira was saying too, everybody loves Harry and Meghan. And it's driving the British press crazy.
That the British press can't dictate the narrative around Harry and Meghan, and that the American press now has so much more access to Harry and Meghan. And Harry and Meghan were being followed around by paparazzi, and they were making sure that, certain outlets got quotes, and they were all American. The American press was glowing towards them. I mean, Page 6 was kind of nasty, but that's Rupert Murdoch.
They always are, yeah.
I'm just so glad that they're here. I'm so glad that they're under America's protection.
Now, most Americans who follow entertainment, even like a little bit, know what they went through because they told us in their own words and are protective towards them. This whole narrative of Meghan as this harpy who's controlling Harry doesn't fly because we've seen her and she is a sweet person. They're both really dear people who are trying their best to do charity work and to bring awareness to good causes.
And I think the politics also helps here in America. The politics now helps Harry and Meghan because
now that we're normal again. Oh.
Yeah, now that Trump is out, Trump isn't chiming in on Harry and Meghan anymore. And that it's the Bidens. And
I can't believe that motherfucker is still alive and that he has not been put in prison yet.
It might happen.
What the fuck?
But
prison. I'm not wishing death on him. I just am surprised that he's still around.
Yeah. And how Matt Gaetz, how is he not under indictment right now?
Oh my God. I know it because he's white. That's why.
I don't know. I think there's some sort of power play happening with Gaetz especially.
I hope that they're getting more dirt on him, but
it's disgusting. But anyway, yeah. I think because Harry has an existing relationship with the Bidens and that the temperature has been taken down politically here in America with the Sussexes and everything about that. So that helps enormously.
Yeah.
Especially if Harry is going to become a citizen.
Oh, that'd be nice. I didn't even think about that. Oh, imagine the meltdown that they're going to have with Harry.
I know, it's going to be amazing. Harry's green card. Oh.
Let's move on to the comments of the week. So you have your comment of the week first. You want to say it?
Oh, you want me to do mine first? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My comment of the week is from one of the stories about the People magazine cover and Prince William, not Charles, is paving the way forward for the monarchy. And there was like an argument with the commenters about exactly what Charles is going to do or not do. And JT said, people keep saying that Charles will have something up his sleeve for William. And I'm like, when the hell is he going to pull it out? This makes Charles look incredibly weak and passive by just letting his incandescent son run roughshod all over him. It was not smart getting into bed with William at all. I don't see where Charles' strategy is because it looks like he just got rid of the workhorse to appease the lazy, do-nothing budget Dwight Schrute, who is actively gunning for his neck. And that's true.
Budget Dwight Schrute. Yeah, I don't think Charles can do anything at this point, but maybe he's waiting when he's... was what you were talking about before, though. He could withhold this investiture.
Yeah, the investiture of Prince of Wales. If Charles had been king for years, I think William would have already been invested as Prince of Wales. But there's a lot that Charles could do as king with who gets what title. And obviously, he's already going to take Duke of Edinburgh for himself.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a whole big thing with the investiture of the Prince of Wales. William would actually have to go to Wales. He would have to make a speech in Welsh. He would have to wear a certain crown.
Oh.
He would have to...
I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's a big to-do, and I'm not sure William would be up for it.
Yeah. I can't even pronounce the street names.
I'm not sure he's capable of it. And I also think that Charles would want to withhold it just to pick at William a little bit and hold something over his head.
Well, he deserves that.
Yeah, of course.
So my comments of the week are from the post where Mila Kunis doubled down on not bathing her kids. She tried to make it sound good, but it just did not sound like anybody washes them. She said that they touch a body of water every other day. What? So they're swimming once in a while, and that substitutes...
She said something about running through sprinklers.
Okay, I hope the nanny's washing these poor kids, man. So Jezebeelzebub said, I just throw my kid into the dishwasher every other day, whether she needs it or not. That jet dry stuff is great for her hair. The jet dry part got me. I like that. And then commenter Same responded to them and wrote, as long as you throw them a Pop-Tart when they come out, you should be fine. I just like that visual.
Just the number of people who are pro dirty children is...
And they're mad and they're commenting and yelling again. No, seriously. They're like, what's wrong with you? You're so mean. You don't need to bathe every day. Oh, you were talking about the pro-Kate people and the anti-Meghan people or something. Those are the same people who are anti-bathing.
Yeah. The Venn diagram is a circle of anti-vaxxers, pro-Kate, MAGA.
Oh my God. I didn't tell you this, but this one anti-vaxxer was emailing me, it's not fair. I should be able to comment. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe in 2 months when you're dead. That's fucking terrible. I know that's terrible. Okay? It's these people's fault that the virus mutated and people can't get treated in the hospital and little kids are dying who can't get vaccinated. I'm angry. No, if you are willingly not getting vaccinated, you have a problem. I do not wish it on you, but I mean, seriously, you're taking away resources from other people.
I'm not laughing at all of that. I agree with you for that. I'm just laughing at the idea that you can comment when you're dead.
You comment when you're dead. If we let all this bullshit through and people are like, oh, it's not free speech. You're right, it's not. Because your opinion is shit. You know, some opinions are worth more than others. And if the whole internet was better, if fucking Facebook was better than it is, we would not have Trump. We would not have fucking millions of people dead. I'm serious.
No,
it's because people have this
know.
Bullshit idea of egalitarianism on the internet, and that's not how it works. Anyway, I'm angry. All right. Thanks for listening, bitches.
Thanks, bitches. You can comment when you're dead.
That'll be our sign off. Thank you for listening to the Celebrity Podcast. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen. If you like us, please turn off your ad blocker when you visit our site. You can text us or leave a voicemail at 434-218-3219. Our music is from AA Alto, Maiden, and via Premium Beat and Sound of Picture. Thanks again.
Oh. All right, I'm turning this off.
Okay.